Yo. Yo. The fight of Shakur Stevenson versus Conceicao, or Conceicao, however you pronounce his name, no disrespect, I just don't know it. I'll be breaking down that fight. Now, that fight was on September 23rd, Friday, September 23rd, 2022, and it was a very, 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 very interesting fight. Now, this is one of my first breakdowns, so how I'm going to do it is going to be very, very simple. A lot of other analysts and stuff like that, you can watch all these other guys who have way more experience than I do in boxing. They can break down the fight in a much more dialed in way and talk about the defense and the offense a little bit more dialed in. But me, as a watcher, as a fan of boxing, you're gonna get kind of like more of the fan side, you know, because I feel like there's nobody really doing that. There's a fan side, and then there's like a person who actually boxes inside the ring. Now, I feel like having both sides is important. I feel like having both sides, like, it's just more fun the way I'm going to talk about it, I feel like, you know. I'm just going to break it down in three simple sections. One's going to be the weigh-in / press conference, so everything before the fight, the rounds during the fight, in a very clean-cut 1-2 sentence, couple sentences, and then, like, move on per round. And then, lastly, what my final thoughts are and what to expect from a specific fighter after the fight. So we're gonna get into it. So during the weigh-in, we have you know, it's 130 pounds for both Shakur and Conceicao, except one thing: Shakur Stevenson did not make the weight. Sadly, Shakur Stevenson did not make the weight. It sucks. It sucks that he did not make the weight, and honestly, he said he was embarrassed and stuff, and that he's moving on to 135 pounds, which is amazing for fans just to watch in general. But I'll touch more on that later. But yeah, for weigh-in, the fight still ended up continuing. Conceicao still wanted the fight because he could have easily deaded that fight. So kudos to him, and we ended up getting 12 rounds of action. So for the first round, I found that Shakur Stevenson was more aggressive than usual. You know, usually Shakur, at least more than his last fight. His last fight versus Valdez, he was definitely doing distance, you know, giving distance. But for this fight, he actually was the aggressor. He wasn't a person just giving distance the whole entire fight. He was the aggressor. So anybody saying that, oh, Shakur's a boring fighter like Devin Haney, you got what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? He was way more aggressive than his last fight versus Valdez. And I feel like this game plan, and his game plan overall, and the mindset that he has is the simple rule of when you have an aggressive opponent, you have to outbox them, you know. And when you have a opponent that's trying to outbox you, that's when you have to be aggressive. And Conceicao is not really an aggressive type. He's more of a boxer. So you have to be an aggressive boxer towards the technical boxer. You know, you have to be able to switch depending on your opponent. If your opponent is aggressive, you be technical boxer. If your opponent is technical boxer, you be the aggressive, you know? So that's definitely what I feel like he was doing, because versus Valdez, it was a completely different situation. He was definitely more calm and giving a lot more distance. Now round two, Shakur definitely was still jabbing. He was very, 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 very active. And Conceicao was also trading with him a lot of counters for both round 1 and 2. This second round, I also believe, is when they bumped heads and causing like a welt on Shakur Stevenson's face. Round three, the tempo definitely picked up for both fighters, and you could see a couple trading in, and a couple trades that they had, and that actually led to round 4, which I feel like was a very exciting round. I had Shakur winning 1, 2, and 3. Fourth round, I also had him winning, but it was a lot more trades happening. Also, Conceicao kept falling down consistently throughout this fight. I don't know what was wrong with his shoes or whatever, but he kept consistently falling over and over and over again during this fight, and not even from a knockdown. But round 4, Shakur, towards late in the round 4, he ended up catching him with I believe it was a body shot, but it was delayed. It was like a delayed reaction from a body shot, and it did count as a knockdown. All right, so round 5, Shakur Stevenson definitely was attacking the body a lot more than he did in the previous rounds. Conceicao was leaving his body fully exposed, and although he was still countering, you could tell he was slowing down the pace. Now, Now, round 6 is when Conceicao literally went completely ghost. Literally, Shakur Stevenson was getting with countless body shots, you know, countless jabs. Conceicao just went completely ghost. Conceicao did not exist in this round at all. Shakur also had a whole bunch of left hooks, a ton of left hooks happening, and honestly, just amazing display of boxing. Destroyed him with the left hook, destroyed him with the body shots. It was amazing. Great technicality to see from Shakur. Round 7, Shakur was mainly just jabbing it out, moving, jabbing it out. Kind of a boring round. Not really much happened that round. Yeah, defense on point. Conceicao missed almost all of his jabs, honestly. That's when we started to see really, this was just the rest of Shakur's show. As previously, it was Conceicao was kind of trading with him a little bit, countering him a little bit. But then we started to see the Shakur train just leave farther from Conceicao. All right, so round 8, Conceicao was he was doing a little bit more. He had actually two great shots in round 8. But, you know, Shakur was still doing the same thing, you know, jabbing, etc., etc. Also, this round was the huggy round. It was definitely the huggy round. There was a lot of hugging during this round, and all this hugging kind of puts me to sleep, you know. But Shakur definitely was not messing with the hugging. You started to see him get a little frustrated from the hugging, especially since the ref was kind of a little off that night. He was separating, but not as much as he should, and you know, it sucks when they keep holding, you know. But that was mainly round 8. Round 8 was the huggy round. Now, round 9, because of all the hugging, Shakur literally lifts up Conceicao with his shoulders and drops him on the floor. Like, and that caused him to get a 1-point deduction. But honestly, if someone was hugging me like that, bro, just like, get off. You know, like, just get off me, you know. So kind of understand. But kind of understandable, but at the same time, it's boxing, you know. You got to stay professional, etc., etc. But Shakur definitely lost his temper there and basically slammed Conceicao straight to the ground. Round 10, it was just, honestly, not much really going on there. A couple of jabs from Shakur. Not much trading from Conceicao. Conceicao was pretty much out of there round 10. Round 11, although still kind of active, Conceicao was pretty much out of there. Not much to it. Conceicao was pretty much done at that point. He had nothing left in the tank. So around 11, it was just about getting him out of there. Now, round 12, you could tell Shakur was looking for that knockout. He was also looking for the knockout in the other rounds, but this one specifically, he was looking for the knockout, and he could not get it. It ended up going full 12 rounds, but yeah, you could definitely tell he was headhunting for a little minute. Now, all 12 rounds I had towards Shakur. Conceicao, he showed some counters, but mainly Shakur Stevenson was just light years ahead of him. And so I have to just give it to Shakur all 12 rounds. Cleanly all 12 rounds goes to Shakur. Now, my final thoughts on this fight. I'm happy Shakur is done with the 130-pound division. I'm happy he's done with it, and he's moving up to 135. You know, it sucks that he had to lose all his belts on the scale, you know, causing him, because if he won this fight, he was going to be, you know, Lomachenko's mandatory, but, you know, he lost the belt, so we'll see if Lomachenko even wants that fight. I don't think he does, honestly, and also I think he's going to fight Devin Haney, or Devin Haney's going to fight him, you know, after Devin Haney gets rid of Kambosos, which another video is coming on that, but yeah, I don't really see Shakur fighting Lomachenko next. I feel like he's probably gonna fight some kind of like as if he was like getting a tune-up in the 135. I feel like a great opponent for him just to get his feet wet in the 135-pound division would be Pitbull. Pitbull wants to fight all these big name fighters, and he wants to rematch with Gervonta. Take Shakur Stevenson, and then, you know, battle it out, you know, earn that Gervonta Davis fight for the second time, you know. But Shakur Stevenson, I have to say, yeah, face Pitbull. I feel like that'll be an amazing fight. Face him next, get your feet wet with 135, and then face Lomachenko after Lomachenko faces Devin Haney, or face the winner of that. But I don't want him to fight Devin Haney too soon. Even though I am a fan, I want to see him go through Lomachenko first, and I also want to see Devin Haney versus Lomachenko first, and then, you know, Lomachenko versus Shakur Stevenson. So hopefully that happens. Yeah, so it's exciting. It's an exciting time for boxing. we have some pretty interesting fights coming up. Hopefully, getting made very soon, like the Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis fight. Should be happening this December. That's 135 pounds. And then as well as, you know, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. So got some more videos for you guys. I appreciate you guys watching this and my little breakdown analysis round for round, as well as the weigh-in and talking about my final thoughts. So yeah, overall, I think Shakur Stevenson is going to have a ball, and it's going to make the 135-pound division a lot more interesting, even though, you know, you have some people leaving the 135-pound division, like Ryan. I know Ryan wants to move up and stay at 140. Teofimo already left, and Devin Haney wants to leave as well. But we'll see what happens. You know, yeah, it's a great time for boxing, honestly. I'm pretty interested in seeing what happens. So you guys let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this fight. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Click that subscribe button, and yeah, hit the comments, man. Let's talk. Shakur Stevenson, 135 pounds. Let's see how he does. Bow.